The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You. Well, welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here. I hope you're having a good day. It's a Tuesday. I'm not sure, is it raining outside or anything? It is raining, okay. The studio, of course, has no windows, and my office has no windows. And I have a special guest. One of my few North Idaho friends is Tabitha Kraack. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing all right, except you're at home. Do you have a window nearby so you can see out? Okay.
Yes, and I
should
can
have
hear
asked
the
you
rain.
for a weather report, right?
Yes.
Oh, these are crazy times. You're working from home right now. What is your normal, because there's nothing normal these days, but what is your full-time job?
I am the executive director for the North Idaho Centennial Trail Foundation.
Yeah. I love the trail. I've walked it. I've ridden on bicycles. Vinny, our senior tech person here, has been on the Idaho one several times and so forth. He's waiting for a little better weather than today to get back out there, But will you work on that for us?
Yeah, I'll work on that. I can see who I can talk
to. Hey, wanted to have you on because you launched something this week. And tell us what that is.
So I decided to do a video project beginning of quarantine, and it was really fun. I was interviewing a lot of the local people I know to stay connected to my businesses, connected to our community. And something kind of just switched in my head, and I was like, I want to do a podcast. This is amazing, the people I get to meet and talk to and the things I learn. So this week, I officially launched my own podcast. Twice a week. Mondays is all about the North Idaho community and the people around me. And then every Friday, I focus more on my passions, which is more adventures, traveling, outdoors, and sports. So I'm really, really excited. And I had my first interview, launched it yesterday. So yeah, yes. So it's official.
That's great. And Tabitha, what is the name of the show?
It's called Keeping Tabs.
Okay, I wonder where you got that from. I'm kidding. I laughed when you first told me about it. I think it was a week ago or so. I just laughed because, yeah, that makes sense. And by the way, it's where can people find it? Let's talk about that first. But where can people find it?
I have a YouTube channel. I have it on Facebook, Instagram, and then I also have it on Spotify. Going to launch it on iTunes, all of the platforms, and Spokane Talks.
Yes. In fact, your first one is already on our Facebook. So, yes, that's great. We're looking forward. As you know, we're trying to infiltrate, if you will, a little bit in North Idaho and Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene, and which is really part of our metropolitan area. I get that. But so you spent a couple months doing that. In fact, you interviewed me at one time too. I think you had to take that down, but I'm kidding. I think it was on Mother's Day, if I remember right.
I think so. It was.
Yeah. Okay. The mother of all interviews.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did 60 interviews. So I challenged myself to one video a day, and I loved it, but I was exhausted. So I was like, I need to dial it down and do, twice a week seems a little more manageable.
Right.
And it brings value to everybody. And I love meeting new people or getting to dive into people's lives and what they do.
Isn't that the truth? I find, and I've told people this many times, I'm more of a learner now than I was back in high school and college and so forth. And I love learning new things. Oh, yeah. I mean, and meeting new people. In fact, that's been part of the challenge for so many of us, that we've been isolated and haven't been able to do things in person with people like this, where you're in Coeur d'Alene and so forth. But you took advantage of the electronics for today, and it's kind of fun to learn about new people, new things. What what did you really walk away from those 60 interviews that you've done and discussions that really kind of amazed you?
That's a great question. I think it was just perspective on people's lives and what people, how people get to where they are, the walk of their life, like how they get to that point, how they become a newscaster or how they became, a nonprofit leader or
Hmm.
whatever it was. It was really cool to see someone else's perspective and how they got to where they were. And I learned, I have a notebook full of quotes now from each person I
Uh-oh.
interviewed. Yeah, because there was just so many like things that I'm like, oh my gosh, mind blown. I've never thought of it that way. So
Yeah.
the perspective was definitely it.
What kind of feedback did you get from your folks?
Not what I was expecting that many people to watch me.
Oh,
That's what
really?
was really cool is people that I didn't even know were talking about what I was doing. A friend of a friend were like, I didn't even know these people knew you. And I was like, I don't know who they are. They're like, oh yeah, they're watching your videos and they want to do it for their business or what they're doing. And I've been told like the best, flattery is imitation. So if someone like does what you're doing, that's the best flattery. And I hope that people are taking advantage of social media and video calls and interviewing and how you can start a podcast. And it's great for yourself, but it's great for your community.
Yeah. What's the most important thing you learned in those 60 interviews?
Hmm. Oh, that I need a lot more help with like editing and video and lighting. That's not my strong suit. So I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot of like, oh, I need better lighting. One of my best friends, she texted me. She's like, that lighting in that one was great. She's a photographer. And I was like, okay, what do I do to make these better, like lighting wise, those kind of things. So I've learned the technical side is a little more difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I rely on a couple of good people that help us here. That really does make the difference, and so forth. So your first interview, it's posted. What is
Hmm.
coming up this Friday? Because that's outdoors and other things. What are we going to see on
Yeah.
Friday?
So what's really cool is I interviewed an old time friend. He is actually running for state auditor in Montana, and I met him. We played basketball. We met in Australia actually, and we've been friends since high school. Yeah, so he brings in the sports piece, but he also brings in a lot of he's Native American, so he brings in this whole perspective of as a challenge what he's gone through and how he's
Sure.
had to become. He was a state representative and all this really cool stuff, and how I want, especially with everything going on, I wanted to focus on something positive that we can do to help what we're
Right.
all going through. And that's to register and vote. So to learning the importance of voting and registering and getting involved in our state, city, national government.
Yeah. So what's next for you? I'm almost
I
afraid to
don't.
ask. Do you
I have
actually
lots of
sleep at
ideas.
night?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
really
okay.
hard, really hard. Go hard during the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What's right now my biggest focus has been the Centennial Trail because all the events have been pushed back, which is
Yes.
really hard. And so it's getting creative right now and how we raise funds to keep the trail going. And so especially with video things like this, I'm able to interview different people in our community that are
Right.
involved with the trail. It's another way to get that information out there. So, trying to get creative and how we raise money for the Centennial Trail. But, we have the marathon in the 23rd of August.
Okay.
We have Ales for the Trail, which we're switching up because we're not going to have the huge park event. We're wanting to support our local businesses by bringing customers to these businesses. So
Right.
it's creativity right now. We'll just see what what happens.
Well, one of the things I found out here in Spokane, and I'm sure it's somewhat the same over there in North Idaho, is that they're not having the banquets, they're not having the golf tournaments, they're not having whatever. And they're still raising significant dollars because the people in the community understand the issues and are still sending in their $100 or $500 or whatever it may be. Are you seeing that with the Centennial Trail?
Oh yeah. Actually, it was really cool. This morning was our upbeat breakfast that the chamber puts on every month, and we're the showcase every June. Well, we can't have the gatherings yet, so we had to do a live,
Yeah.
Facebook Live, talk about the Centennial Trail and the importance of the trail. And, you know, I've already got messages after that, like, hey, great time, you know, great, you know, presentation. How can we get involved?
Good.
And I want to give it a shout out, like the Children's Village here in town. They took advantage of the Facebook Live, and they raised $25,000 auctioning wine on Facebook Live.
Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, local
Good for
business.
them.
Yeah, like Bynum Olive. She's Naomi. She decided to let's raise some money for the Children's Village through a Facebook Live event, and $25,000. So I commend these
terrific.
nonprofits.
Good
that are getting
organization
creative.
too. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm pleased to see. I'm not surprised, but I'm pleased to see the Spokane Coeur d'Alene communities step up and otherwise find ways to continue sponsorships and one way or the other. I mean, I think of the Numericas, I think of the water power, that goes back, doesn't it, to my day when I was there. Avistas, I think STCU and others who are still following up with their financial commitment that they would otherwise give to a banquet to sponsor it or whatever, are still writing the checks. And that says so much about our community and who we are.
Oh, completely. I mean, if we didn't have these businesses, we all would not be doing well. But yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate to have such a supportive community, and that's, I mean, Spokane, Post Falls, Liberty Lake. I feel like we're almost one big town now.
Yes, we are.
We have a great community, and when trouble strikes, when things happen,
Yes.
everyone wraps around each other.
Yep. And I'm pleased to see where some of the protests have gone and so forth in terms of, you know, gone away from being violent and so forth. And I know it wasn't the leaders and most of the folks in the protests were smart people and knew what to do and wanted to get their word out, and other agitators that were involved. But the protests and others, that's what represents us in this community. And so we're going to move ahead. We're going to be better for it, I think, too. So I've got to give a little shout out that folks can find all of our programs, including a link to yours and so forth, on northidahotalks.com as well. So we've got the URL for North Idaho. We're going to be more visible over there. You've promised to introduce me to some of the right people in town, and we want to start showcasing North Idaho, okay? And if it hadn't been for COVID-19 and other things going on, we would have been over there, because you and I talked about this well before.
Oh yeah, it was
shutdown.
It was the week before the shutdown, because I had a event, and I was like promoting it with you and talking about Newton County Police and Fire Memorial Foundation.
Then,
and it was the next week, everything shut down.
How can people find out, number one, about your podcast, and number two, about the Centennial Trail of North Idaho?
Yeah, so our website is nictf.org, but we are on all social media platforms. It's just North Idaho Centennial Trail Foundation or North Idaho Centennial Trail Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then me personally, I'm on my personal Instagram. It's Tabitha Runs. But I now have a Tabitha, or Keeping Tabs with Tabitha podcast Instagram. So you can follow all on that stuff as well. And I'm easy to get a hold of. So just message me if you have any questions.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us today. Continue what you're doing. We look forward to posting the programs on our social media as well, and having you part of the team.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching The Pulse of Spokane.
Here at River Ridge Hardware, we want to help you help your fathers and grandfathers. How many times have you seen them get a bigger workout just trying to get the equipment started? They crank, and never get started. We have a battery operated. You just throw that battery in, run it, pull the trigger, you're ready to roll. No workout, all fun, getting the garden done. Here at River Ridge Hardware, we want to help you make your dad's day and your grandfather's day. Neighbors helping neighbors at River Ridge Hardware.
As a community, you've always risen to the occasion. And at Wendell Motors, we want to help you continue that in whatever way we can. We're here to lend you a hand with 0% financing for 84 months and no payments for 90 days on 2020 and 2019 Fords. Unheard of financing on the F-150, Edge, Explorer, Ranger, and more. Our trained staff is following all CDC guidelines. We will deliver the vehicle to you and make the process as seamless as possible. Call us today or visit us online at wendell.com.
Hi, this is Tim Lane with State Farm with your quick winter tip. During the freezing months of winter, protect yourself from an unwanted liability lawsuit. Shovel and de-ice your sidewalks, walkway, and stairs up to your house. Not only is it going to protect and be safe for you and your family, but also visitors and mail and package carriers alike. If guests were to slip and fall on your property, you would be legally liable for their injuries. If you have any coverage questions or would like a second opinion on your insurance, call my team and I at Tim Lane's.
National Barricade and Sign Company is a well-established company founded in 1957. National Barricade has become a well-known business in the Spokane Valley for more than 50 years. Over the years, we have built long-lasting relationships with many cities, counties, and their departments of transportation. Customers come to us because they know they're going to get the best quality service at the best possible price. National Barricade prides itself on getting the job done in a timely manner. We know that contractors must have certain items in a timely fashion to get their job done, and if we don't have it, we will get it. We guarantee fast service no matter how long it takes.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.